Over 200 rounds, 30 armed men, a Lamborghini Urus riddled with bullets in broad daylight, and a teenage girl who didn't make it out alive. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't some action movie. This isn't Grand Theft Auto. This happened in Zapopan, Mexico, part of the Guadalajara metro area, and it's one of the most chilling reminders that cartel violence doesn't care how much money you have, how many bodyguards you hire, or how armored your vehicle is. Let me paint the picture for you. A wealthy businessman is driving through his own city. He's got his teenage daughter with him. He's got bodyguards, plural. He's in a Lamborghini Urus, one of the most expensive SUVs on the planet. This man took precautions. He knew the risk, and it didn't matter. Because more than 30 gunmen showed up, blocked the convoy, and opened fire for almost 10 minutes straight. Think about that. 10 minutes. That's not a hit and run. That's an execution. That's a message. Over 200 rounds fired. The vehicle didn't stand a chance. The bodyguards didn't stand a chance. And that teenage girl, she was rushed to the hospital and died later. Now here's where it gets worse. This attack happened in a residential area, near a stadium. Not just any stadium, one that's set to host matches for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Yeah, tourists are going to be flooding into this exact area in 2 years, and cartels just turned it into a war zone. And let me be very clear about something. This wasn't random. This was likely about money, extortion, protection fees. You know what that means? It means this businessman probably refused to pay off the cartel, or maybe he did pay, but not enough, or maybe he paid the wrong cartel. Because here's the reality in parts of Mexico right now. If you run a business of any size, you are going to interact with organized crime, whether you want to or not. They own entire industries. They tax entire regions. And if you don't play ball, this is what happens. But wait, it gets crazier. Mainstream media? Crickets. You barely heard about this, right? Most of the details came from foreign outlets and local Mexican reporters. Authorities recovered over 100 shell casings, high-powered weapons, clear cartel-style execution, and yet no arrests, no suspects, nothing. Because let's be honest, who's going to go after 30 armed men backed by a cartel? The local police? They're either outgunned, underpaid, or on the payroll themselves. The government? Please. In many regions, the cartels are the government. And this is the part that really pisses me off. This man did everything quote-unquote right. He had money, he had security, he stayed in a major city, not some rural border town. And it didn't save him. It didn't save his daughter. So what's the lesson here? What's the takeaway? That wealth is not protection, that private security is not enough, that even in the so-called safe parts of Mexico, the cartels operate with total impunity. And I want you to imagine being that girl's mother right now. Imagine being her sibling. Imagine knowing that your family member was caught in the crossfire of a war that your government refuses to fight, or can't fight, or won't fight because they're complicit. This isn't just about one family. This is about a systemic collapse of the rule of law. This is about entire regions where violence is so normalized that a 10-minute shootout in a residential neighborhood doesn't even make international headlines. And you know what the scariest part is? The people who did this, they're still out there, right now, probably planning the next hit, and they know nothing's going to happen to them. So, if you ever wondered why people risk everything to leave certain parts of Mexico, this is why. If you ever wondered why some families would rather cross deserts and rivers than stay home, this is why. Because staying means living under the constant threat that one day you or someone you love might be in the wrong place, know the wrong person, or refuse the wrong demand. And no amount of money, no amount of security, and no amount of hope will save you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what unchecked power looks like. This is what happens when cartels become more powerful than governments. And this is what happens when the world stops paying attention. So yeah, over 200 rounds, a teenage girl dead, and the people responsible still free.